From Relay, this is Connected, episode 594. Today's show is brought to you by Sentry and Copeland. I'm your keynote chairman, Federico Vitici, and I'm joined by fellow annual chairman, Stephen Hackett. Hello, chairman. How are you?
Hello, chairman. I am good. How are you?
I am doing fantastic, thank you, even though it's raining, and I really dislike it. So
It's rained for like 3 days straight here. It's been miserable. So you and I are chairman, but we're also joined by Myke.
Hello, man of the people here. Listener, I'm just like you. I'm not sitting up in this podcast ivory tower talking about rain, you know? I'm just one of you. I'm just one of you.
That's something.
You two are over there, you know? And I'm over here.
Sure. Okay. We have a lot to do today, but we're going to start with follow-up. iOS 26.4, the most recent beta, which I think is beta 4 now. I've lost track. Has more liquid glass tweaks. So if you go into the, there's display and brightness, right? Which you can switch between clear and tinted. But now there is a new one called Reduce Bright Effects, but that is not in display and brightness. You have to go through accessibility and find that. And what this changes, so like this is most obvious, I think, when you're highlighting text. The sort of the background around the text gets really bright, and in some cases it makes it actually like pretty difficult to read. And you can turn that off. And so I turned it off on my phone that runs the betas, the phone that I use for development stuff. And I think it's a pretty nice change. And it doesn't like take away from what I like about liquid glass. Like I like a lot of the movement and some of the stuff, but this feels like a pretty good change. And I think if you're running the beta or whenever 26.4 comes out, it's worth, I think, toggling this and seeing what you think. Because for me, at least, it's really helped legibility in some areas.
I mean, I like the bright. I like it. I like the light. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. Maybe I'm the broken one. I don't know. But I like it. I wouldn't want to turn it off.
Some other news. Long-time listeners will remember that we had a period we were talking about iPod docks.
Like, iPad docks.
What did I say? I said iPod? Jeez.
You said iPod.
Oh man,
Look,
here he is.
I've been on vacation this week. It's my first day back.
Kids and their iPods.
A lot of things have happened. Satechi has a new one. It's their iPad Pro stand. Federico, did you look at this thing?
Yeah, and it looks really nice, I gotta say. I have learned over the years that I'm not this kind of person.
Who is?
Very much. Some people are.
Who's the all right? Okay.
Who's the guy in the ivory tower now?
Wow.
No, this is me as a man of the people. I just plugged my laptop into a screen. I don't know who the person is that needs on-the-go I/O for an iPad that includes a 4K or 60 hertz HDMI port, USB-C and USB-A ports that can support up to 10 gigabit per second file transfers and 100 watt power delivery. There are 2 USB-C ports to help you achieve this, and a 3.5 millimeter audio jack. I don't know what someone's doing on the road with their iPad where they need all of this. Like, this is not... I don't understand this product, honestly. Oh, and it's also got card readers on it as well.
You gotta get your cards read, man.
I think for some people who are really into the iPad, and I know because I've been this person, you wanna use it as your
is a different, right? Using a hub, fine. This is an on-the-go product. This is meant to be taken with you to places. Where are these places? What are you doing? That's what I don't understand.
I don't know.
You just show up at the coffee shop and you like bust this thing out of your bag. You're like, I'm here to work.
Yeah, this is probably better than busting out an iMac, at the coffee shop.
No, I agree with that. You shouldn't do that. I'm not saying busting an iMac out of the coffee shop is okay. That's also worse.
OTJ, for example, used to be a person who would go to the coffee shop and take out one of those portable monitors. Those like portable 15-inch monitors that you put down on a desk.
Sorry,
and then
John.
you run a cable.
No, sorry, John. It's a laptop. Laptops and iPads
there
and
are
keyboards
people that
only.
do this.
They shouldn't, though. Is what I'm saying. And you shouldn't do this. You should use just something with a screen and a keyboard that's like integrated and goes into a bag nice and easy. That's all you should be doing, I think, at coffee shops.
What if you got a rack-mounted Mac Pro and you could just like slot it in under the table? So that's way less conspicuous.
Yeah. I'm sorry, what computer?
The one that they really care about.
Can you say that again?
Which one?
Mac Pro.
Yeah.
I think he meant Mac Studio. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think that's what he meant.
Woof.
I think a Mac Pro is like a person is a Mac Pro.
Yeah, like someone who's Mac like Pro. A technician. They're a Mac Pro.
Yeah. No idea what you're talking about.
Our friend Rob Knight has put together some amazing web tools over the years. You could check out Rob's site. But a relatively new one is podcast duration, where you can select your podcast or paste in an RSS feed and get stats on your podcast. And before we recorded this episode, we've got some numbers to share. I just put this in here because the numbers are astounding to me. Mm-hmm. We have recorded almost 859 hours of connected.
Okay.
That is 35 days and 19 hours of audio.
Of duration. Like if you press play on episode 1 and let it run, you would get for basically 36 days.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
That is 697 CDs.
Mm-hmm.
Or 25,000 floppy disks, which is really, the connected heads know, floppy disk it really brings out the warmth in our voices. That's the way you should listen.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, like, how would you do? You have to like cut the episodes up into tiny little chunks and load them onto the disks?
Yeah, it would be.
Have to do?
It'd be a nightmare.
I want someone to put one episode on floppy disk. That's what I want. Just see what happens.
You probably can fit the part where he says, today's show is brought to you by our sponsors.
Yeah, you can get the sponsors on, which is it's really all that matters. And then we could just mail it around. Good stuff. Stephen, you have a new obsession?
I do.
What is this obsession?
I am so pleased that this turned into an obsession.
Yeah.
So this is what has been called Little Finder Guy. I don't want to assign gender to Finder, but some people have.
Wow.
This is okay. So the backstory is, and we're going to talk more about this in a second. There's like a new era of Apple advertising around the MacBook Neo, including just some wild TikTok videos.
Yep, they're crushing it.
Yeah, I don't have TikTok installed, right? So, but to view them, I had to like find an account I could log in as so I could watch them.
I want to tell the full story of this scenario because I have my own view on this.
Okay.
So I follow a bunch of creators as part of my work on Widgetsmith that are tech creators in different genres than us, where technology is more just aesthetics for them. And I saw one of these people post an image that was a screenshot of a iBook as a makeup case, like a foundation case.
Yeah.
And I could see that it was a screenshot from TikTok. And I was like, that's fascinating. So I went to TikTok, found the Apple account, and started watching stuff, and then sent some of these TikToks to Stephen because I thought that he would appreciate the iBook references.
Yes, which I do.
A few minutes later, I got an email from TikTok saying that the Relay account had signed into TikTok.
Yeah.
And that was when I knew Stephen wanted to go and watch them on his own.
That's right.
That's my kind of view of this, was seeing that email.
Which I'd forgotten we even had a TikTok account. That was like a podcastathon thing.
Like we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that.
It was terrible.
We don't talk about
that. So yeah, a bunch of them. You can go watch them. I also embedded some of my favorites on a blog post, which felt gross. Those embeds were kind of gross, but I did it.
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
No.
It really doesn't look good.
You should see the HTML.
It's not your fault, but they
bad.
look bad.
It's bad news. But as part of this, there's a little Finder character which has showed up. He's at some point sitting in a chair with a tiny laptop. And basic Apple guy has like gone down the rabbit hole of making a bunch of I think they're using Gemini to create a bunch of artwork based on this person. I've shared some of that on 512 Pixels, and behind the scenes, basic Apple guy and I have been going back and forth on some things on this, and we're working on something that would feature this character. It's not quite ready yet, but hopefully the end of the week or early next week, there'll be something on 512 Pixels about little basic guy that I think people will enjoy. Little teaser for people.
Look at him.
Look
He's
at me.
it into part of his personal brand now. I love it.
Yes, I think it's awesome. I think Apple should embrace. I'm very happy Apple is doing some like stuff for the kids. I think in general the advertising has been really good around the MacBook Neo, like all the way around. Yeah. And I think that doing fun things with Apple should take itself a little less seriously at times, and I think this is a fun example of that.
Yep, and also leaning into a lot of their history, which is the right time to do this.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of history stuff, which also takes us to today, as we record this, Apple have also joined Instagram in a meaningful way. So they've been doing advertising and stuff on Instagram, I believe, as they have been doing in many platforms over the years. But now they have here is an Instagram handle that you can follow that we're posting on, and it's at Hello Apple, which is a great handle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that is just like a great handle. And it seems like they're doing this in collaboration with their celebration of 50 years of thinking different. So I would say, thankfully, Apple are choosing to acknowledge their 50th, and Apple's website today has a letter from Tim Cook, kind of reflecting on their history as a company. One of my favorite things here is that Apple Pay gets a shout out as part of their history, which is actually warranted. Like if you think about it, like one of the most impactful things that they have done in the last maybe 20 years is something like Apple Pay, but it is just funny. It's like you've got like the iPod, Apple Watch, iPhone, Apple Pay.
Yeah,
like,
they shoehorned a bunch of services into that, which is, it's fine, whatever.
No, but I think it's warranted. It's just not as sexy, right? Like, it doesn't feel as good, but if you think about the impact of their products, changing the way you buy things everywhere, it's pretty big. It's a pretty big deal. But yeah, I like that Tim is. I like that they're going to they're using Think Different. They're using the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels. Like they're using that language, which I'm happy to see them use that language because it is one of the most impactful things that their brand ever did, and they're going back to that. Crazy is a complicated word, I think, to use now, but if you're going to do it, if you're going to call back to it, you've got to call back to it the way that they did, and they're using that word. And I like that they're referencing that they don't usually look back as a company, but they're deciding to do that now. And we're going to see stuff, I guess, over the next few weeks from them. I think it's great.
Yeah, if you're not going to do it very often, 50 is a good number. I agree with you. You wouldn't use that word now, but they're quoting, right, the past. Yeah. I think a lot of people, I saw some feelings about this on Mastodon, of course, but when I linked to Tim Cook's letter, Tim, my good friend, Tim's letter earlier today, I was like, it is going to be a fun celebration. And a lot of this throws back to like why I fell in love with the Mac back in high school, right? When I first used one. But we've got a great Apple at all times, but I think even now with realistic eyes, right? That yes, there's a lot of great stuff about Apple that's been true for a long time. There's a lot of stuff that's not so great about Apple right now. We need to be honest about that too. And Apple's gonna, I heard you sigh, give me a second. Apple's gonna be all excited right now. You can be excited and feel weird about things. Like it's fine. You can feel all the things.
I'm not sighing at you, and I wasn't sighing. I was blowing air out. I just can't we just like what we've made on our computers? Can we just so here's the thing. Like the reason that I said is like this, there's a line in this letter from Tim says the most meaningful chapters are written by all of you, the people who use our technology to work, learn, dream, and discover. You've made breakthroughs and launched businesses. And so like I am in a nostalgic feeling myself today, reading that, because like Apple is 50 years old, but we have been doing this together for nearly 15 years.
Yeah.
Like, such a huge portion of their history we have been doing this for, which doesn't even feel like it could be accurate. But what I know is we are all here because of what we have made on our Macs. Like,
Yeah.
and I think it's incredible that this company has produced these products that have inspired us and enabled us, and I think it's worth celebrating. And I think I would personally love over the next couple of weeks, while they're going to be doing this, and we're all doing this, can't we just all agree together to enjoy it, and then we can go back to criticizing them, right? Like, I use a critical eye on Apple 365 weeks of the year, right?
Wait.
Nope,
That's a lot of weeks.
No, that's what I do. I multiply it by 7 or something. What did I do? I'm losing the plot here. But like, I'm very critical of them. We all are. But like, let's just look back and enjoy it, right? That is my plea to everyone. Just enjoy it for a couple of weeks and see where we land. I don't know. And I know everyone's going to go, that's the noise a bunch of people just made at me, but that's how I'm feeling right now. You can feel what you want to feel.
Look, Apple's just vibing at 50, I hope to be vibing at 50.
Me too, man. I'm going to write an open letter when I turn 50.
Yeah.
Oh my
God.
It's not very far away for you, Stephen.
That's 10 years away.
It's longer than that for me and Federico. For you, it's super close. You could start writing that letter now if you wanted to.
I could.
You would be posting it soon.
I could. This episode of Connected is brought to you by Sentry. We at Relay use Sentry. You may know we have our own CMS and our own ad inventory management system, and we just have a part-time developer. He's a freelancer, right? I'm not a developer by any means. And that means if we have an issue or we have a problem, it's really critical we get to things quickly. So we are making the most of his time. That's where Sentry comes in. It lets us see exactly what's going on with pinpoint accuracy so he can find a fix. Look, more than 4.5 million developers are using Sentry, and that's for a great reason. Their logs are trace connected and structured, so you can follow the request flow and filter by what matters. And they have a new AI tool called Sentry Seer that can actually find the buggy code, identify a root cause, and then draft a fix and hand it off to work for an agent like Cursor, or it can even open a PR for you. It's really powerful. And again, you're tying all these tools together. You don't have a separate logging system, something else for replays, something else for traces. It's all built into one with Sentry. It saves us a ton of time and energy at Relay, and it will save you a ton of time at your company as well. They have a free dev plan, and listeners of this show can use the code CONNECTED26 to get $100 in Sentry credits. Try it for free at Sentry.io. That's Sentry, Sentry.io, and tell them that we sent you. My thanks to Sentry for the support of the show and Relay.
I have Neo FOMO.
Whoa.
I have Neo FOMO.
It's a new type of FOMO.
I have Neo FOMO. Multiple times in the last 48 hours, I've considered taking a trip to the Apple Store to buy a MacBook Neo because everyone's so excited about it. We did an episode of Upgrade. Jason had one, and we spoke about it and reviewed it. He's published a review. Lots of people have. MKBHD called the MacBook Neo Apple's most disruptive product in the last 10 years. This product is getting reviews that are very surprising to me. Overall, people are very excited about the MacBook Neo. You both ordered one. I would like to hear what you have to say.
I have quite a story to tell.
Love it.
So I got a MacBook Neo 512 gigs in silver because I really wanted to have that white keyboard. And like I told you guys, I was really fascinated by this idea of an affordable Mac powered by a phone chip. There's something about it that, I don't know, speaks to me in a similar way that the iPhone Air does, but obviously they're two very different devices. But this idea of this powerful computer with this powerful actual desktop OS running on a phone chip and being so affordable, I don't know, intriguing. It was very intriguing to me. So I got it yesterday, and I start setting it up with the apps that I usually use. More on this in a minute. And my first 30 minutes, first hour was kind of horrible. I started downloading the apps that I use for regular work on a daily basis. Notion, Superhuman for email, the Comet browser, Slack, Discord. You will notice that all of these are Electron apps. And I don't know if it was a matter of, these Electron apps are obviously very memory hungry, and this computer only has 8 gigs of RAM. I don't know if it was that problem, or also the fact that when you first set up an Apple computer from scratch, it does a lot of indexing up front. I turned off Apple Intelligence, but still, Spotlight, for example, was doing the initial indexing, and it's all that stuff that happens when you first set up a computer, notes, photos, all those things being downloaded. Anyway, the computer for like 30 minutes was incredibly slow and stuttering. Like I would drag a window around and it would go at like 20 frames a second. Yep. It was terrible.
This sounds like the kinds of behaviors that I have sometimes on my MacBook Air.
Okay. It was so bad that I quickly realized, well, okay, I needed to get this out of my system. I guess the experiment is over. So I went on apple.com to my account page and I started the process for returning the computer. And they gave me the instructions and the label and said the delivery company will be in touch with you to pick up this computer.
Bye!
So I kept using the computer and it stopped being slow. And I actually worked on it all day. And I noticed, for example, that this computer uses swap, obviously, very often. Like on a regular basis now, I have the full RAM basically filled by my apps, and the rest, like 5 or 6 gigabytes, go to swap. Obviously, like there's a lot to be said about the storage of this computer. This SSD is like 8 times slower than the SSD on my MacBook Pro, and it's like half the speed of a MacBook Air, for example. The thing is, I kept working on it, and I really, really liked it. And this morning, the doorman calls me and he's like, there's a UPS guy here that wants to pick up something from you for a scheduled pickup. And I realized, it's the computer. I guess they're already coming today, even though I started the return process yesterday evening. I guess they're already here. And on the spot, in 30 seconds, I had to make a decision. I had to decide, well, okay, so do I keep it or do I quickly put it back in the box and go downstairs? And I kept it. So I told the UPS guy, oh no, I canceled the return.
I'm not
you
here.
don't need to pick up anything.
I'm not in.
No, I said I canceled it. You don't need to pick up anything from me. And so he's like, okay, sure, I'll mark it as canceled. I won't pick up anything. And I kept it. I kept it because, look, sometimes the computer you like the most is not the best computer you can use.
Yeah.
And I think this is one of those times. Just like the iPhone Air. It's not the best iPhone that I can use, but it's the one that I like to use the most. And in this case, I think it's a combination of design, because I really do like this design. And in a way, I will say something that is potentially unpopular. In a way, the chassis of the MacBook Neo feels more premium than the MacBook Pro to me. I don't know if it's the way that it's curved at the edges, like how it tapers off in a slightly different way, but it feels really solid and it feels very Apple and premium. I love the white keyboard. I know that it's a silly thing, but I really, really do like it, how it pairs with the silver as opposed to the black keyboard on my MacBook Pro. I like this feeling, and this is so silly, but because of the bezels, and again, the display is worse than my MacBook Pro. Everything is worse. in this computer compared to the MacBook Pro, but it's got that sort of intangible quality of being nice. And when I use it, it kind of reminds me, visually speaking, of an iPad Pro attached to a keyboard that it's running macOS. I don't know why, but it kind of reminds me of the old iPad Pro, pre-2018 design, a pre-Liquid Retina display with those rectangular bezels, like the 2015 to 2017 generation of iPad Pro. It reminds me of that, but attached to a white keyboard running macOS. And it just feels so nice. And I keep thinking it feels incredible that it's actually working, even though at the same time, it is also true that it is objectively worse than my MacBook Pro. For example, when you click on an app in the dock, it takes a split second more for the window to appear. Everything feels slightly slower than even my M4 Mac Mini that I'm using right now. It's got that, like, you click on the icon and it's not immediate. It's not slow, but it's a split second more to see the window on screen. It's compromised, but it balances that out with this feeling of almost being impossible, the same way that the phone part of the iPhone Air being inside the camera plateau feels impossible. It's that kind of feeling that I'm using something. Futuristic is not the right word because this computer is slower than everything else, but it's futuristic. It's like philosophically futuristic, if you will. Like it's running on a phone chip. A phone chip can do this now. And it feels nice to hold and to look at and to use the keyboard, the trackpad. It's a nice object and it doesn't cost a fortune. And so that's why I decided to keep it. And I do love the 13-inch size. It's lighter than my MacBook Pro, obviously. Kind of feels like an iPad Pro attached to a keyboard running macOS. And that's my 24-hour first impressions of this computer.
I'm really intrigued by the fact that you find it to feel nicer than your MacBook Pro, and I wonder what that is that's making you feel like that.
Maybe it's the weight, maybe it's the color of the keyboard, maybe it's the fact that I don't see the speaker grills at all times because they're off to the sides.
Have you used the MacBook Air?
Not in a while.
Okay. No. I wonder, because I love the MacBook Air design much more than I like the MacBook Pro design, even though they're all the same, they're all similar. And the Air is basically, the Neo is basically the Air. Stephen, I mean, you haven't really said much yet, but what do you think? Because I know you've used both. Design-wise, do you find them to be comparable, the Air and the Neo?
Definitely. I mean, I think if you had been in some sort of coma or something the last several years and you woke up and the first thing that happened is I handed you this laptop and I said, here's a laptop, you would think it's the MacBook Air. Like it totally feels like a MacBook Air. It's a little, I think because it's narrower at 13 inches, it feels, technically it is slightly thicker. I think it feels a little thicker than I thought it would, but not at all in a bad way. And I agree with Federico. The 13-inch size is pretty nice. It's a very fun computer in a way that, they're obviously trying to pitch it and sell it as that, but I think it's true. And I've been very impressed. My initial setup was very much like Federico's, and that's how these things go, right? The same thing is true on iPhones and iPads, right? The first little while there's a lot going on, and it's got I moved from a time machine backup of my MacBook Air to it, and that was actually about as fast as I thought it would be. There's not a lot of data to move, but it's so far so good. I think for me as a secondary machine, when I don't need to take my work laptop with me, I think it's going to be killer for that. I think it's going to be great for students. Like it is much more capable than I think people would look at it and think. I mean, Tyler Stallman did this great video. We can put it in the show notes, looking at it from the pro apps perspective. It's like people were editing 4K video on the iPhone. Of course, the MacBook Neo can do it. Is it as fast as an Air or a Pro? Absolutely not. but it is so much cheaper and it is well above the bar of usable. I think Apple really struck a good balance with all this.
There's a funny thing that Tyler does in his video where he opens everything in the applications folder, right? And it just continues to run. And like you'd assume that would just take it down, but it doesn't. It just keeps going. It's very impressive. Man, this silicon that they've built, unbelievable.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's, yes, it is a phone chip, but like, all of these, that's where they all came from, right? And I think the distinction of what's a phone chip and what's not is very quickly fading away. I think this laptop is proof of that. I think the M4 and M5, et cetera, being in the iPad blurs the lines. I really am viewing these things as a gradient now between the A whatever and the A whatever Max and Ultra, right? It's just it's a continuum of capability and power. Yes, there were trade-offs because they did it. And I think over time, those trade-offs will get better, right? If they go to the A19 Pro, they'll have 12 gigabytes of memory. Maybe future A series chips will be built where they could handle 2 USB 3 ports instead of one 3.0 and one 2.0. And look, those things, for a lot of people, like the port thing doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. I mean, even I, a professional, like, unless I'm at my desk plugged into things, I'm not plugging things into my laptop in the real world anymore. So much has moved past that. And so I think the trade-offs are totally fine for where they are, and they will only get better. This is the worst version of this computer there will ever be. And this version of it is still pretty great.
You figure it's going to, I think it'll be quite a while until they significantly revise it. Like, even if they put another chip in it, I can't imagine them putting another port on this for
No, I just meant that instead of one USB 2 and one USB 3.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
It would be
the speeds, right?
Yeah, sorry. I may have been confusing about that.
No, I think I misunderstood you. It looks like an amazing computer. Every time I see it, I'm like, I wished it was a little bit smaller because then I could justify it. Because I just don't have. I already have a 13-inch laptop.
Sure.
Right. Like, so it doesn't. But like, if this was a little smaller, like, then it would be like, oh, I could imagine myself having one. Like, if I was to get one of these, it's purely as a curiosity. Like, which I think is mostly where you are, Federico. Right. Like, this was as a purchase, was a curiosity purchase to begin with, at least. But man, I can't believe the way that people are talking about it. It's very surprising. Like, everyone seems so excited about this computer, and I didn't think it was going to be bad, right? But like, I didn't think that it was going to get the, I would say, basically glowing reviews that it has gotten so far.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very impressive what they've done here.
I think in the context of it, right, that the MacBook Air is literally twice as much in a lot of scenarios, right? Being able to hit this price point with a product this good, it's a huge flex. And I think that having, there's this quote I think they gave to Jason, maybe some other people, like, we didn't start with the MacBook Air and strip it down. We started from the ground up. Like, okay, that's semantic in a lot of ways. But this does feel like its own thing in a way that I didn't really expect. I sort of expected it to feel like, oh, this is a MacBook Air that they just chopped a bunch of stuff out of. And maybe it's the enclosure, maybe it's the colors, I don't know. But it does feel like its own purpose-designed machine in a way that, really in a way the MacBook Air did in the beginning, or the way the 12-inch MacBook did, right? It's like, oh, you designed this as a new thing. And certainly it takes cues from its bigger siblings, but it does feel distinct in a way that I can't quite put my finger on. And I think that's one reason the reviews have been positive. It's like, it feels like its own computer, not something that, got chopped down by a bunch of product managers and then shipped.
Yeah. And the price.
Yeah, incredible price.
At that price, like, just unbelievable. Like, really, it's going to be very successful for them, I'm sure. And they obviously, they believe in it enough to have created this whole new marketing campaign on a platform that they weren't really using, right? Like, I think they're treating this like it's a big deal, and I think they're right to do so.
Me too. Any other questions, Myke?
I guess to both of you, really. Like, I think, Stephen, I feel like I maybe know this for you more. But like, do you actually imagine this being a computer in your lineup?
Yeah, I do. I think that having, we talked about last week, like I do have the desire to have a laptop that I can use for things that aren't work. Or times where I don't want to take my work laptop with me because it's really expensive and has lots of data on it that if, that I work with lots of people. Having something that's more my own sort of personal computer, if you will. That's a term we should use. Personal computer. I like
A
that.
computer for your own?
Yeah,
That's really cool. That is really good.
I'm a professional. It's that's compelling to me. And yeah, I could use an iPad for a lot of that stuff, but I just don't want to. I just don't want to. And so yeah, I do think it's going to stick around for me. I do have an M3 MacBook Air that I think I mentioned this. I got a family member that could use an upgrade, and that may go to them to replace what they're using. And this, I think, could totally meet my needs. I'm doing a little light email, some photo stuff, but it's capable of so much more, right? Than even what I would be doing with it. And the size is great. I get the desire for it to be smaller, and I liked what Jason said on Upgrade that feels like a different product.
Yeah.
And I don't think they need to go that route again, personally. And so, yeah, I think it's going to stick around for me.
What about you, Federico?
Yeah, I also think so. I think I'm gonna try and get some work done on it for the next few weeks and see what happens. Especially now that, in hindsight, I probably don't need a MacBook Pro, right? Because I have a Mac Mini and a Mac Studio where like local AI things can run in the background. And I no longer need to use something, like LM Studio, for example, on a portable computer anymore. And so most of my work happens, Notion, Slack. I have Telegram for chatting with OpenClaw. I have my browser for all of my web apps. It's a pretty simple system, really. As long as I have one password and I can log into all my things. I can install Ivory for social media, Blue Sky in the browser. So I think I'm going to be fine. In fact, I've already, all of the show notes for my podcast today, I just did all the research on the MacBook Neo, and I was totally okay. And, it's, I was thinking about this. There's an old article on Kotaku. Let me find it. It's called On Friction. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this article by Tim Rogers. Great writer, and also a video game developer, and also a YouTuber. Highly recommended. And there's this old article from 16 years ago in praise of sticky friction. This idea that sometimes friction in any kind of experience can be a good thing, because it makes you appreciate what you're doing a little bit more. And I was thinking about this concept of friction in using the MacBook Neo, that everything is a little bit slow and everything, takes maybe a little bit more effort compared to, something like a MacBook Pro or a MacBook Air. And I think it's hitting the same notes for me that working on the iPad many years ago did, because it had the little bit of friction that kind of forced you to be more focused and to optimize how you worked a little bit more, right? And that's why maybe this computer is resonating with me right now. Because when you have a powerful computer that everything is possible, right? And you can open 47 windows and it doesn't care, and you have 96 gigs of RAM or whatever, it's kind of silly to say, but you don't really appreciate it, right? Because it's like, yeah, whatever, I can do everything I want. Here, you cannot do everything you want. You're forced to choose. And I think it's the choosing, and again, being more focused and appreciating the machine more. It sounds counterintuitive, but I think just like I appreciated the iPad years ago, before it was so powerful as it is right now, I think the same is happening with the MacBook Neo.
So are you telling me you can get real work done on a Neo?
I'm telling you that. Yes.
Whoa. No way. No
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. What's a computer after all, right?
I mean, it is on a collision course with the iPad, right?
Yeah.
Having an iPad, we talked about this last week, having an iPad with a keyboard, potentially much more expensive than this thing. And for those of us who prefer to work on Mac OS, it's opened up a possibility that hasn't been there before. And I think that's one reason people are excited about it.
I mean, I think that the MacBook Neo is an example, an indicator of the fact that somebody high up at Apple really cares about the Mac and Mac OS.
Yeah.
I think the existence of this product is them showing I would say, it is another indication of the clear, renewed love and appreciation that they have for the Mac at Apple, which was questioned for some time.
Yeah.
Right? But I think this is a clear indication of how they're feeling about the platform right now. There are so many Macs now. Like in the last few years, they've introduced 2 completely new lines of Macintosh.
Yeah.
Right? We have the Mac Studio, and we have like something at the top, and we have something at the bottom. They really care about this, and I think they care about it now to a point that they are clearly willing to allow for a bit of disruption to the iPad.
Yeah, it's so interesting, and they still have. I mean, what's really wild about the Mac is how many desktops there are. Like having 3 laptop lines, I think makes a lot of sense. I don't know if there's room for a 4th ultralight that is more expensive. Like that is confusing, I think, to a lot of people. But the fact that there's so many desktops is kind of bonkers, and there's probably going to be one fewer, here relatively soon. But yeah, I think it's really interesting that they are doing it now, doing it in this way. Like I find it all very encouraging as a Mac fan.
Stephen, why do you have 2 of these Mac Neos?
So a thing happened to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to? Is that it? Moving on.
Remember last week when I said I'd ordered a Citrus model?
Yeah.
When I said that, a little voice, like something just felt weird in my brain. And so I went and looked in my email and had actually ordered an Indigo one. And I have no idea how that happened. So I ordered a Citrus one for review. So that's going to be the one that I review and take pictures of. And I think I'm going to end up keeping both anyways, because my youngest is at the point where like he's doing a lot of homework and schoolwork on a computer and he's having to borrow one from somebody. So they're both going to stick around anyways. And I like Indigo way better. I love the Indigo. That one's going to be mine.
What a Stephen thing to do.
I was in a hurry, It's like
you're
trying to order something, trying to get other work done.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're both great, though. And I have not seen Blush in person, but I plan on bopping up to the Apple store to see that because I think it's going to be pretty nice. You should get one, Myke.
My XDR got delivered.
Ooh.
I got delivered at home because I figured, like, I'm not at the studio every day, and I'm definitely not at the studio at the times that some of the delivery companies come, at least, especially this, it's delivered at like 7:30 p.m., right? It's just like, who knows when these things are going to be delivered. It's real heavy, boys, and I got to get it here. That box is unbelievably heavy. I was quite surprised. So I'm hoping tomorrow to try and get that thing here, and maybe next week I'll have something to say about it. Although what I'll probably tell you is like, oh, that's real nice, and that'll probably be the end of it. But I am very excited for it personally, but I'm not sure how much I'm going to have to say about it. But I will at some point go to an Apple store and I will look at the MacBook Neo, and then we'll see what happens in my life.
Can't wait.
I already have a laptop that I take with me every day. Like, what am I gonna do with this thing?
That's true. Your system's all different than what it used to be.
Yeah, like I have my MacBook Air. Like, it's the same weight. Like, I don't know what to. Like, I have nothing to do with it. Like, it has less RAM and the same weight, and like I just don't think I could use it. It would purely be as a curiosity, and I I have restrained myself because I know the curiosity will last a couple of weeks, and then I have another laptop to deal with. You know, and I'm gonna look at them at some point just for fun, but I cannot find a place in my life where this thing makes any kind of sense.
I mean, that's fair. And very mature, honestly.
Yes, I've grown, you know? 365 weeks a year I've been working on myself.
This episode of Connected is brought to you by Copeland Supply, makers of the Cloth Pro Max. Copeland Supply is a 2-person operation. 2 people that I like, Quinn Nelson at Snazzy Labs and his wife, Megan. They're doing this out of their home in Utah, and they're doing some really cool stuff. We all know about the apple polishing cloth, a bit of a meme. Federico was in the New York Times talking about it years ago. Well, Quinn and Megan have upped the game with the Cloth Pro Max. It's a 22 by 22 centimeter premium microfiber polishing cloth. I've got one right here. I'm going to bump it on the mic so you know I'm telling the truth. Hey, I got one right here. It's significantly bigger than that other polishing cloth. And the fabric it's made of is really cool. It's a proprietary triple blend material. It's hybrid, microweave, and pile construction. Those words mean something. What it means is that this is awesome for cleaning your products. The nylon fibers have mechanical grip on fingerprint oils. They don't just skate over them and smear them. It's safe for nanotexture displays. It's safe for anything in my office. I've been using it on my Pro Display XDR. I've been using it on my laptops, using it on my phone. It's in this awesome warm gray color. It looks like the natural titanium, super awesome. And the packaging it comes in is completely recyclable, which I love. It should work well on an iPhone 17e, any of the new notebooks, the MacBook Neo. It also works on TVs, monitors, tablets, car screens, and more. They ran extensive tests on this, and it worked on all of them. So go now to connectedcloth.com. That's right, we have our own domain for this, connectedcloth.com, and get 10% off your Cloth Pro Max. There's no promo code needed. Just go to connectedcloth.com and get 10% off at checkout. Go check this out. It's really awesome. It's made by awesome people. My thanks to Copeland Supply for making this product and their support of Connected. It's time, gentlemen.
Oh, yes.
Time
Everyone's
for
favorite time.
the Jeremies.
What is this
God.
game now? Are there rules?
There are some rules, so fewer than other rules. The Jeremies are where Federico tries to guess the name of upcoming emoji. And it's kind of up to well, really Myke's the judge of this. It's kind of up to Myke depending on how close he gets. But we do have the official names. Federico needs to get close to those. He gets a point for everyone that he gets right. I believe is how it works.
We can joint judge this.
Okay.
I didn't have the time today to also turn this into a quizzes. I just didn't.
Wait, how? What?
In the past couple of years, I've turned this into a waging game.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, but I didn't have the ability to spin up my spreadsheet today. So we can joint judge this today.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So
yeah,
Federico, there is an image that Steven will send to you, I guess.
Yes.
So you can see this without any of the names. I would like to believe that you, as always, have not taken a look at these.
I have avoided all articles and social media posts about this.
There's only 8. This is one of the things about this game. They used to have so many, but now they have so few. It is incredible in the age of Genmoji that we are still continuing to get new emoji, you know? Because we could just make all of these.
Yeah, but emoji are universal, you know?
Kidding.
So
I'm kidding. Because you can't. All of these emoji look good. You can't make emoji that look this good in Genmoji.
Yeah. All right, Federico.
What am I looking at?
I put it in our. Well, that's the question. Really?
Indeed. That is it. So, listeners, there is an image in the show notes, and also the podcast chapter art is showing these, and we will be going through them, starting from the top left and going along each row, Federico. So we begin with, this is one that will be added to the kind of emoji face lexicon. What is it? What is this? What would you call this?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at Okay, so this is not my answer, right? I'm just thinking out loud. I am looking at what looks like some kind of shocked face, but we already have a shocked face, I think. This is what, like a face that's been filled with air and it's like blowing out or something. It's like a compressed. What's happening to this face?
So I'm going to mention here, and you can look at this after, but I will also include a link in the show notes to a post on Mastodon from Basic Apple Guy saying, I thought that this looked familiar. This is, I don't think intentionally, but is absolutely referencing the emoji that got squashed in the Crush ad.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Actually, looking at it, I
my.
100% believe that they are referencing this. That great ad that nobody liked.
What's happening to this? It's being squashed. I think you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But would they call it squashed? Squashing? No, that's kind of violent. Not compressed. But I don't even know how to describe it in Italian.
You're on the right lines. I'm going to say, Federico, you have surprised me many times. I am convinced you will not get the word that they're looking for, but you are on the right kind of trajectory with your descriptor here.
Squash, compressed, blowing up. No, it's not blowing up.
At some point, you need to give. I'm not rushing you, but at some point, just tell me I'm locking in this, and then we can move on from there.
What's the English word? The other English words for this? It's been compressed. It's been, I don't know. I'm going with squashing face.
This is called distorted face.
Distorted.
Yeah.
You were in the ballpark.
Yeah, makes sense.
And
okay,
this to me is the fascinating part. They decided to make it look like that, right? Like a distorted face could mean anything. This is what they went with. And let me tell you, boys, this emoji, I'm going to use it all the time. This is an A+ player, this one. This to me is like when they added melting face, which I use all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to use this guy all the time. This is such a good, this could be a shocked face. This could be an alternative to the looking emoji, because this guy is like, what? What are you saying? This one is... I love this emoji. I'm going to use it a lot. Distorted face.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Distorted. Okay. All right. So moving on.
What have we got next to it?
So this, I look at it and I'm immediately thinking of manga, Japanese comic books.
Okay.
This is the sort of the figure, this sort of speech bubble that gets used when the characters in a manga are like cursing or using bad words. And it's a speech bubble / cloud. What would Apple say here?
It has the rings of the Connected podcast around the outside.
There's the rings. There's like stars and like thunder or something. Would they say angry cloud, angry speech bubble, bad words? No, they wouldn't say bad words. Violent? No, they wouldn't use the word violent. Yeah, angry cloud.
So close.
Oh no!
Fight
what is
cloud.
It?
You were so close, man. You were so. This is another great emoji.
Come on.
This is a really good one.
This is another great emoji.
Fight cloud. Okay.
These two very useful. Where I feel like they've not had so many useful additions in the last couple of years. So you're 0 for 2 so far, Federico.
Yeah. Okay. So next up is a person doing classical dance. Now, Sylvia would probably know the name of this move. So she's standing on. Is she a female character?
This is specifically a gender neutral.
Oh, gender neutral.
Yeah. This one,
but it's a type, but it's not dancer, right? It's I'm torn between two, right?
Okay.
Because in English you would say like a ballerina, but that's not gender neutral. At least it's not in Italian. Or classical dancer. And I think since it's more inclusive, I think I'm going with classical dancer.
He's so close.
Ballet dancer.
What?
Ballet dancer.
Oh my God. Oh
you
my
were so
God.
close. I was hoping he was going to get there. You were so close. So this emoji exists because of the two dancing people. So you have a dancing man and a dancing woman. The dancing man is doing like disco. The dancing woman is doing like flamenco. And then they've introduced the gender neutral ballet dancer.
I should have said ballet.
You were so close. Like you were there. You were right there. You had ballerina and then you had classical dance.
Because we don't say ballet in Italian. We say classical dance.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Huh.
Yes. Danza classica. Yes.
Are you guys familiar with the fact that Timothy Chalamet is in trouble because he doesn't like ballet? Has this come into your world at all?
It's been all over Italian Instagram. Yes.
Oh, Timmy.
Anyway, we can move to the next row because the next one is Bigfoot.
Yeah, but is it
Yeti, or Yeti.
Yeah, but is it though, Federico?
What? No.
What I need before I'm just going to give you some
you're
grace
going to say that this is a walking monkey?
Hang on, I'm going to give
because
you
it's
some
not.
grace here for a second. Remember the Unicode Consortium and the ways in which they describe things.
I mean, first of all, Bigfoot doesn't exist.
Doesn't he?
Whoa,
but it's
big claims.
Oh my
Huge
God.
claims here on the Collective Podcast.
I feel I am being gaslighted right now. Like this is Bigfoot. I'm looking at. I am literally.
That is Bigfoot. I agree with you.
Okay.
Right? What you are looking at is Bigfoot.
But okay.
Right.
But you're telling me that there's a weird name for Bigfoot.
I'm telling you that's Bigfoot. I agree with you. But the Unicode Consortium would not call him Bigfoot.
Let's brainstorm this out for a second.
Yeah. I'm so pleased that they did the walking, looking at the camera Bigfoot pose.
It's very funny. Yeah, it's great.
Isn't that brilliant? Like they were cooking. Let me just say, actually, in general, the people working on emoji at Apple cooking on this set.
Yeah.
So there was as you may imagine, there was a Mac Rumors forum post about this. And everyone's like, oh, they're doing this. Where's the AI stuff? Where's the Mac Pro? Like, come on, people.
No, it's a good point. I want the emoji person working on the next Mac Pro.
It would be very delightful.
It'd be more colorful. It'd be more colorful, more fun. That's what I want.
Yeah. But, generally the consortium, they want to find generic names for things.
Yes.
Generic name.
I'll say that as a.
I mean, what are you gonna call this guy? Walking hairy man?
You're so close. Federico, you're so close.
Walking.
No, get rid of walking. Get rid of walking. All right, just forget that. Steven's not listening right now.
Hairy person? Harry figure? Harry. It's Harry. So
Are you guys familiar with Harry and the Hendersons? Did you ever watch that show? I think it was a movie and they made it
character?
into a show.
Harry.
Ding.
No, that's not it. Don't think it.
No, I had that. No, yep, you're close.
All right, give it to him. Harry Creature. Congratulations, Federico. You got it.
Thank you.
Sorry, I knew it started with a C and I was in a different tab.
Harry Creature. That is
the reason
Bigfoot.
I think they went with this is so that people could choose, because you could go with a Yeti, you could go with Sasquatch, you could go with Bigfoot. You know, these are called cryptids, I believe is the phrase that kind of encapsulates then you've got like Mothra and those kinds of things. They went with Bigfoot in the classic Bigfoot pose.
The pose makes this emoji for me. It's so funny.
Initially I said a walking monkey.
Walking monkey. There. But I see where initially you said Bigfoot and you were correct, right? And then we were like, well, what else could it be? Also, again, another great one, right? You like leaving the conversation, throw the Bigfoot in there.
Yeah. I'm going to use that for my away. In 500 years, when Slack supports this emoji, I will set this as my way.
Walking away.
Walking away.
Okay, the next one I know. This is Free Willy, right?
It
This
is.
an
It is Free
It's an
Willy.
orca.
Yes, he did it. Incredible.
Yeah.
Because you could have said
Man,
kill a whale.
Man, no, I loved Free Willy as a kid.
Oh yeah.
But
But when I was a
great
kid,
movie.
we called them killer whales, right? Like
Yeah.
that
No,
was the,
we call
that
them
was the phrase.
orcas in Italian. It's an
I
orca.
mean, orca is
Yeah.
the correct phrase, and like I think to be kinder to orcas, people stopped calling them killer whales, but they were called killer whales.
Man, this is just you got to politically correct whale naming has to stop.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
PC whale naming has gone out. Has gone out of the window.
Yeah.
All right. So next
I
up,
love
next
Free
up,
Willy
this is
too,
interesting.
Federico. I don't know why. Oh my
so
god,
good,
I
so
love
good.
that movie. I love
It's one of those like 90s movie that they don't make anymore, like makes you feel good.
Well,
movie.
I do think one of the reasons they make them anymore is I bet they weren't kind to that whale. I bet they were
Yeah,
real
well.
bad to that whale, and here we are. But you're right; they don't make movies like that anymore. They just don't, and that's sad. It's sad.
Yeah. Anyway. So the next one is interesting, because I'm looking at some kind of tumbling rock.
You could make a good habitat for a Pokemon with this one.
Yeah, but the rock is tumbling, but there's also a boulder.
I'm going to help you out with something here. Scale. That's what I'm going to say.
Wait, are you saying that that's a mountain?
I'm telling you to think of potential scale of what this actually is. Because I don't think that this shows the scale of what we're talking about.
Is it a stone? It's not a stone.
It is a mountain. So if that is a mountain, what is this representing?
How do you call it? Like a landfall of some kind, or like a? No, it's not an avalanche. That involves snow. What do you call it?
You're right there. You're right there.
You're right there, Federico.
A when rocks come down from a mountain, it's called. What is it called?
You had half of the word.
It's frana in Italian. I know the Italian word. I don't.
You
know
already
the word.
said half of it.
Hey, yeah. I'm willing to give him a half point
Yeah,
because
Well,
the
but hang on.
Italian is correct.
No, okay. When you said landfall, you said
Rockfall.
No. The
Other
wrong
half.
Wrong other half. Boulder fall.
Mountain fall.
As the sky falls, tumbles. You're so there, Federico.
I don't know. I'm
Just
sorry.
do
I
the
don't know.
Italian translation. Steven said it was correct. Just do the translation.
Yeah, Google says it's correct.
But I don't want to.
Okay.
Half point?
Hold on.
Steven, are you noting the points?
Avalanche.
I am.
Okay.
Avalanche is for snow.
Yeah.
In Italian. Terreno. Smottamento. Oh, yes. It involves land.
Yeah.
This is a landslide.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Rockfall.
Rockfall.
Hilarious.
Rockfall.
I got it. Rockfall.
Is that a Pokemon move? Rockfall?
Probably.
Probably.
No, hold on.
Let's be
It's a
honest.
word. A rock. Wikipedia has an entry for rockfall.
Okay, but I'm not saying it's not a word. The funny part is I said you had half of it correct and you chose the wrong half.
These all feel like they're sort of related based on the material that's in them. So a rock fall is rocks. A landslide is like rocks and mud and water.
Okay.
Avalanche, like you
Yeah.
said, is snow.
Rock slide is a Pokemon move, by the way.
Rock slide. Yep.
Yeah.
Dangerous.
Okay.
You're
Okay,
tied.
So next
3-3.
Okay. So next up, musical instrument, and I'm torn between two musical instruments. Easy answer could be it's a trombone, or it's a trumpet.
don't overthink it.
Yeah, don't overthink it.
Trombone.
Yep.
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
I mean, Federico, that wouldn't be a trumpet. A trumpet is a different instrument that looks completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Trumpet
okay.
has the
Could be.
little
Okay.
finger buttons on top.
Yeah. So I go where this one goes. You know?
Whoa. Like that.
Yep.
Okay. Final one should be a pretty clear-cut one.
Mhm.
I am looking at a treasure chest.
Yes.
Bingo, we got it.
5 to
Okay.
3.
Man, I
Alright.
was so excited that you were going to say, I'm looking at a jewelry box.
Yeah.
No,
Is this
no. I mean, I've played enough video games to know it's a
That's
treasure
true.
chest.
That is true.
I love the detail, like the pearl necklace is like coming out the side. Like it
Yeah.
is, the artwork on all of these
The
is
scale
fantastic.
of those rubies, though, you would be rich forever with just one
Oh,
of
you'd be,
those.
you'd
yeah,
be,
man.
yeah,
As
man.
big as a crown.
Yeah, you'd be set.
Yeah.
Good
Okay,
job.
so how many?
So how did he do?
How many?
5 right and 3 wrong.
Fantastic.
Okay.
So it's
Okay,
one
not
of
too
those
bad.
classic Jeremies performances where Federico starts poor and then just crushes it by the end, you know?
Yeah.
I gotta get into the mindset of the Unicode Consortium, you know?
I think, to be fair, though, also, like, starting with the face ones is always really hard because
Yeah.
you're trying to
Dis-
describe, like, the
What
emotion.
was it? This distorted?
Distorted face.
Distorted
yeah.
face.
Distorted
Yeah.
face. Okay.
By the
Ah.
way, click the basic Apple Guide link in the show notes now and look at the image that they
Oh,
made,
yes.
the GIF. They have
see, let me
absolutely,
see.
because the mouth is in the same shape. Like, they have absolutely evoked
Oh,
that.
yeah. That's the guy. That's the
Yeah.
guy. A little guy being distorted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Great job.
Only 8. That's it.
Yeah.
We're done.
They're slowing down, man.
Last year
Man.
was even fewer.
There were
though,
like
I
5
think.
last year
Yeah.
or 6.
And a bunch of them were just like clearing up other
Remixes,
things.
yeah.
Like, because they kind of redid all the family ones to just because it was getting a bit out of hand. So they just kind of like stripped them down and made them look like symbols rather than
Mm.
actual people.
Yeah. Good job, though.
I think it's because Jeremy retired.
Thank you.
And now he's like the maps guy or the subway guy. or
Jeremy's
something.
doing like express transit stuff now.
Yeah.
What? Where? On
Threads.
TikTok?
He's created like a whole separate expresstransit.com.
Wait, I don't know this new development. of
Yeah, this is
Jeremy.
this is Jeremy's thing now. It's really good
Express
actually.
Transit?
Expresstransit.com. And he's like helping you understand how to get around in some major cities around the
Oh my
world.
god, he's a genius.
It's like when you look at this, you're like, oh, he's done it again. Like this is like
He's done
how
it
he
again.
built Emojipedia. It's
Oh
like
my-
just
he's done it
realizing
again.
there's a whole thing.
Oh my
And then he
god.
just goes and does it.
Jeremy, I love you so much.
Yep.
It's very
This is
good.
incredible. Oh, look at the thing for Rome. Contactless? Yeah, that's correct.
It started with him having opinions about maps, train maps in Australia, and then
Yeah.
has become this.
How can you not love Jeremy?
He is the best. We have a new closing that we have to try out this week.
Okay.
So, thank you for listening to the Connected Podcast. I've been your Attorney General Flexi Stephen. Your Attorney General Flexi Stephen. That's me. If you want to find my writing, it's at 512pixels.net, and I don't have any other podcasts. There's a new version of Widgetsmith. You can go check that out.
There you
Smith
go.
8.2. It's sick.
Clear
um,
widgets.
Clear widgets and photo background widgets and some other stuff under the hood. If you want to find Federico, of course, he is the Prince Flexi currently. His
Mhm.
writing is over at macstories.net, and he hosts a bunch of great podcasts over there. Y'all's episode this past week covering the Apple events on App Stories was great. You can find Myke at a bunch of shows here on Relay and Cortex Brand and theenthusiast.net, where he is blogging.
People.
Man of the people. I'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Century and Copeland. I'd like to thank our members. If you want to join and get Connected Pro, it's the longer ad-free version of the show. Go to getconnectedpro.co, where there's a link in the show notes. And until next time, guys, say goodbye.
Arrivederci.
Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all.